Good morning students, welcome once again. In today's class, in previous class, we discussed about classification and nomenclature of haloalkanes and haloarenes, in which we discussed both trivial system or common names and IUPAC names. In today's class, we will discuss the nature of carbon halogen bond, and along with this we will also discuss some method of preparations for both haloalkanes and haloarenes. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, let's discuss the nature of carbon halogen bond. Okay, so we all know that the halogen are the most electronegative elements in their respective periods in periodic table. That means the fluorine is the most electronegative element of second period, chlorine is the most electronegative element of third period, and so on. So due to high electronegativity of this halogen atom will attract the electrons of the bond pair. That means this bond is not pure covalent bond now, it is polar covalent bond. And what is polar covalent bond? The covalent bond in which some ionic characters are present, and these ionic characters are introduced due to difference in electronegativity. So here, because halogen has more electronegativity, so it will attract the electrons of bond pair and it will gain partially negative charge, and carbon will gain partially positive charge. So due to this charge separation, there is dipole moment in this bond, or we can say that this bond is polar covalent bond. Now, in which bond the polarity will be maximum? If we compare carbon fluorine bond, carbon chlorine bond, carbon bromine and carbon iodine bond. So if we compare these four, we know that the fluorine has the highest electronegativity in its group. Okay, so the polarity or the charge separation of carbon fluorine bond is greatest. Then it will be chlorine, after that it will be bromine, and the carbon iodine bond will be least charge separation. Okay, so when we moving up to down, their dipole moment is decreasing. I think it is clear to all of you why it's decreasing, because of decrease in electronegativity of halogen atoms. Now we also discuss the strength of the bond, like if we discuss carbon fluorine, carbon chlorine, carbon bromine and carbon iodine. My question to you all, that which bond is the strongest one? So the bond strength depends upon two factors. First one is size and second one is overlapping. Now here in carbon fluorine, it is 2p type of overlapping. In carbon chlorine, it is 3p type of overlapping. Okay, so the 2p overlapping will be stronger compared to 3p overlapping, and in bromine it will be 4p overlapping, and in iodine it will be 5p overlapping. That means here the 3p orbital is larger, and so on. So we know that on moving up to down, the size of their orbitals are increasing and the larger orbital will form weaker bond. That means the carbon fluorine bond is the strongest one. So there is another order, that if we move from up to down, their bond strength will decrease, and we can directly correlate the bond strength with bond energy. That means stronger the bond, higher will be the energy required to break that bond, and this energy is called bond energy. So on moving up to down, their bond energy will also decrease. Now see that the carbon iodine bond is the weakest one. So in substitution reactions, because we know later on we will study that nucleophilic substitution reactions are the characteristic reaction of halo compounds. That means these groups are the good living groups. They will be substituted by some another nucleophile. So when we compare these four, then that bond will break faster which is less stronger or weaker. So if we compare them in terms of reactivity for substitution reaction, the carbon iodine bond will be most reactive, then carbon bromine, after then carbon chlorine, and then carbon fluorine will be the least reactive one. Okay, so we will discuss the substitution part during the chemical properties. And one more thing, can you tell me that which bond is the longest or which bond length is the greatest? Obviously in carbon iodine the bond length is largest, so we also can arrange them in order of bond length. So when we are moving from up to down, the bond length will increase because bond length is inversely proportional to bond strength or bond energy. So I think the nature of carbon halogen bond is clear to all of you. Okay, so you may note it down. Now we will discuss the method of preparations for halogens or halo compounds. Now we can prepare halo compounds by taking alcohol as the substrate, by taking hydrocarbons as the substrate, or by taking halo compound itself as the substrate. So we will go through the method of preparation under these three headings. First one is method of preparation from alcohol, second one is from hydrocarbons, and third one is from halogen itself or halo compound itself. And from hydrocarbons we will discuss these four reactions. First one is from alkanes, which is called free radical halogenation. We have discussed this reaction in detail in class 11 also. Then electrophilic substitution, which is basically characteristic reaction of aromatic compounds. So here we will form haloarenes. In case of electrophilic substitution, we will form haloarenes. Then third one is Sandmeyer reaction. Sandmeyer reaction is also generally used for the formation of haloarenes. Okay, and the last one is from alkenes. In alkene we will see the addition reaction. Okay, so let's begin with the method of preparation by using alcohol as the substrate. Now all these reactions are very important, and in organic chemistry if you see any reaction by specific name, for example here it is Sandmeyer reaction, these are called name reactions. So name reactions wherever you see in any chapter, they are automatically becomes important for exam point of view. Okay, so let's begin with preparation by using alcohols. Now there are number of reactions which we can use for preparation of halo compounds by using alcohol as the substrate. Okay, So we all know that alcohol are those compounds which have OH as the functional group. So when we react alcohol with hydrochloric acid in the presence of ZnCl2, we will get chloroalkane plus water. Okay, then if we use sodium bromide in presence of any acid like H2SO4, here we will get alkyl bromide and the side product will be sodium bisulfate and water. If we react alcohol with PX3, now what is PX3? It may be PCl3 or PBr3, etc., or PI3. Okay, so here the side product will be always H3PO3. Okay, and we will get haloalkane RX. Then if we react alcohol with PCl5, the side product will be always POCl3 plus HCl, and we will get chloroalkanes. If we react it with red phosphorus plus X2, X2 means halogen gas, this may be Br2 or I2. Okay, so here also we will get alkyl halide. Okay, so just revise these reactions 2 or 3 times and you will remember all these reactions. They are very simple reactions. Now last and the most important reaction which we can use for the formation of haloalkane from alcohol, we can take SOCl2, thionyl chloride. So by this reaction also we will get alkyl chloride plus SO2 plus HCl. Now see here, this method of preparation or this reaction is the best one for the formation of alkyl halides, because the both side products which we are getting here are present in gaseous state. And what is the benefit of this? The benefit of this is that we do not need to separate them from the reaction mixture. They will be automatically separated from the reaction mixture and we will get the pure haloalkanes. Okay, so why this reaction is special or important? Because in this reaction the side products are present in the gaseous state, so we get the maximum amount of product or the desired product. Okay, so this is the method of preparation from alcohols. Now next, from hydrocarbons. Now what are hydrocarbons? Which has carbon and hydrogen, for example alkanes, alkenes, alkynes, then benzene. All these compounds are hydrocarbons. So in hydrocarbons the first reaction is free radical halogenation, and this reaction is characteristic reaction of alkanes. We have studied this reaction in class 11 also. So suppose we have taken an alkane. Okay, this is propane. So in free radical halogenation we react it with halogen in presence of light or heat. Okay, and here all type of product will be formed like CH3, CH2, CH2Cl. This is 1-chloropropane and another product will be CH3 CHCl CH3. This is 2-chloropropane. Both product will be formed here, but this one will be formed in major amount. Okay, because we know that the stability of free radical are in the range of 3 degree greater than 2 degree greater than 1 degree. So this will be the this order will also be observed in the products also. So this 2-chloropropane will be formed in major amount, but both of these products are possible. Okay, now there is a exercise for you. I'm giving you a substrate which is CH CH3 CH3 CH2 CH3. Okay, and if we consider the free radical chlorination here, then total how much product will be formed, you have to find out. Okay, and then you have to find out that which product will be formed in the major amount. So this is an exercise for you, solve it. Okay, so next reaction, let's move. It is electrophilic substitution reaction, and electrophilic substitution reaction is characteristic reaction of aromatic hydrocarbons, for example benzene. Okay, so it is the characteristic reactions of aromatic hydrocarbons. Now see, some examples of electrophilic substitution reactions were Friedel-Crafts alkylation, Friedel-Crafts acylation, halogenation, nitration, and reaction with H2SO4, sulfonation which is called. So all these reactions we have studied in class 11 also. Now see, if we react benzene with halogen in presence of iron and in absence of light, then we get haloarenes. Okay, and if the benzene ring is substituted, suppose here we have methyl group. So methyl group has ortho and para directing influence. So when we react it with halogen in presence of iron, it will give both ortho product and para product. Now which product will be formed in major amount? Obviously the para product, because in para the steric hindrance is minimum. Okay, so para product is always formed in the major extent. So this is electrophilic substitution reaction. Now here the H plus is being substituted by X plus. Okay, so electrophilic substitution reaction, and it is the characteristic reaction of aromatic hydrocarbons. Okay, if you want details about this reaction and the previous one, you can just go through your 11th class syllabus. Okay, you will get all the mechanism and the details about these reactions, but here the mechanism is not required. Now see, the third reaction is Sandmeyer reaction, and this one is very important because it is a name reaction. Now Sandmeyer reaction, or for this reaction we require an aromatic amine. Okay, so this is benzene amine, or the trivial name is aniline. So whenever we react aniline with nitrating mixture, azotizing mixture, NaNO2 plus HX, and the temperature will be around 273 to 278 Kelvin, then this NH2 group will be converted into diazo salt. This is diazo salt. Okay, here its name will be benzene diazonium halide. So it is a salt. Now, what is the property of diazo salt or this N2 positive group? It is one of the best leaving group because it want to get removed as nitrogen gas so that it can get inert gas configuration. So wherever a nucleophile is provided, it will be replaced by that nucleophile easily. Okay, so let's provide a nucleophile to it. We can use Cu2X2. Okay, so if we provide Cu2X2 cupric halide, then we will get N2 group replaced by halogen group, and we will get haloarine, and nitrogen gas will be as the side product. But one thing we have to remember, that we can make chlorobenzene and bromobenzene by this reaction. That means here X may be either chlorine or bromine only. That means we can take Cu2Cl2 or Cu2Br2. If we want to prepare iodobenzene, suppose I want to prepare iodobenzene, then we cannot complete this reaction by using Cu2I2. This reaction is not possible, so here we can use potassium iodide. Okay, so remember this thing, this is very important, that if Cu2X2 is taken, then halogen may be either chlorine or bromine, and if you want to add iodine, then we can take potassium iodide. I think this reaction is clear to all of you. Now let's move to the next reaction. The method of preparation by using alkenes. Now what is alkene? Alkene are those hydrocarbon in which double bond is present. So we know that the unsaturated compounds like alkene or alkyne shows addition reactions very easily, in which double bond is broken and two sigma bonds are formed. So when we react this alkene with HX, okay, this double bond will break and one hydrogen and one halogen will be added here. But this alkene is symmetrical. That means you can attach hydrogen or halogen anywhere you want. But what in case we have taken asymmetrical alkene as a substrate? For example, suppose we have prop1ene CH3 CH double bond CH2. Now this alkene is asymmetrical. Suppose we are reacting it with HCl. Now if you add hydrogen at this terminal carbon and chlorine at this carbon, we will get 2-chloropropane. And if you add hydrogen at this carbon and chlorine at this carbon, we will get 1-chloropropane. So to identify the correct product, we have to check the electronic effects. Here we know that this methyl has plus I effect, okay, and this plus I effect will push these pi bond electrons towards the terminal. Okay, so that means the negative charge will be generated at the terminal carbon and positive charge will be generated at the middle carbon. And when we fragment of HCl, we get H plus and Cl negative. So now what you have to do, simply just attach the positive fragment with the negative charged carbon and negative fragment with the positive charged carbon atom. So I think now you got what will be the correct answer. The correct answer will be where you will attach H positive here and X negative or Cl negative will be attached here. So our answer will be 2-chloropropene. Okay, let me give you one example as a exercise. Solve it. Suppose we have C2H5 CH double bond CH CH3. Okay, and we are reacting it with HI. You have to tell me which product will be formed. Now if you remember some concepts of 11th class, we call these kind of products as a Markovnikov product. Okay, so what were Markovnikov products? The products in which hydrogen is attached at that carbon where hydrogen is present in already larger number. हाइड्रोजन वहाँ जुड़ेगा जहाँ पहले से प्रेजेंट हाइड्रोजन ज़्यादा नंबर में प्रेजेंट है. अगर ऐसा होता है देन इट इज़ मार्कोनिकॉफ प्रोडक्ट, और अगर ऐसा नहीं होता है देन इट इज़ कॉल्ड एंटी मार्कोनिकॉफ प्रोडक्ट. So in case of presence of peroxides, the anti-Markovnikov product used to formed. Okay, so all these reactions we have studied in class 11. We are just revising them, but in short. Okay, so here you have to tell what will be the product. Now see, we can also add X2 on the double bond. For example, suppose we have CH2 double bond CH2 ethene, and if we react it with X2 in presence of CCl4, we will get vicinal chlorides or vicinal halides. Remember, geminal and vicinal we studied in previous class. 1-2 position is called vicinal. So this is vis dihalide. Okay, now in case of addition of halogen, we do not need to care about where X will be attached because both these are same. In case of HX, one was hydrogen, another one was halogen, so we have to find the correct answer or the correct product, but here there will be only one product. Okay, I'm giving you one question to solve. Suppose we have propvanine. I'm reacting it with HX, again HX, but in presence of peroxide. Okay, so here we will find out the correct product according to Markovnikov rule. We will get 2-halopropane as we discussed earlier, but here we will get the anti-Markovnikov product. That means halogen will be attached at that carbon where hydrogen is present in higher number, or hydrogen is attached with that carbon where hydrogen is present in lesser number. So this is Markovnikov product and this one is anti-Markovnikov product. So this kind of reaction is called peroxide effect or Kharash effect. Okay, so this is very important. Wherever you see HX, also look at peroxide. If it is present, then we have to form the reverse of the normal product. Okay, now the last method of preparation is halogen exchange. So in halogen exchange, what we can do, we can convert one haloalkane into another. So whenever we react the alkyl halide in which halogen may be chlorine or bromine, because we have seen that in most of reactions we are preparing either chloride or bromides, because these are easily formed. So what if we want to form iodide? We can react alkyl chloride or bromide with sodium iodide, NaI, and we will get alkyl iodide plus NaX. Okay, so by using NaI we can form alkyl iodide, but still we have not seen any reaction in which we were able to form alkyl fluoride or fluoroalkane. So look at this reaction, this is very important. If we want to form fluoroalkane, we can take alkyl bromide and react it with silver fluoride. Here we will get alkyl fluoride plus silver bromide. Okay, so these reactions are halogen exchange reaction. But this reaction in which we have converted alkyl bromide into fluoride with reacting it with AgF, this is also a name reaction which is called Schwarz reaction. Schwarz reaction. Okay, so note it down, it is important. Now what else we can use in the place of AgF? We can use mercuric fluoride or cobalt fluoride or SbF3. But in exam there are more chances that AgF will be used during framing any question. So that's all about the method of preparation of haloalkanes or haloarenes. Revise it once again, note it down clearly in your copies, then only you will be able to digest the organic chemistry. So in next class we will discuss the physical properties of both haloalkanes and haloarenes, and also we will discuss, or we will start, the chemical reactions, and this chemical reaction part will take almost 3 to 4 classes to get completed. And chemical reaction we will study separately for haloalkanes and haloarenes because they show variation in the chemical properties. Here we will discuss their stereochemical aspects, and in the case of haloarenes we will discuss their directing influence. Now before ending this class I am giving you some examples and you have to solve them. Okay, first example, CH3 CH3OH with SOCl2. You have to tell me what product will be formed. Again the same substrate, and reacting it with PCl3, what will be formed. Then second question, you have given this alkene and we are reacting it with HI. You have to tell me what product will be formed. Third, you have given aniline and reacting it with Ki. What product will be formed and what is the name of this reaction? Fourth question, you have given this alkene, we are reacting it with Br2, what will be formed? Or if we react it with let's take another example. Suppose this is given CH3 and here is the pi bond. So if we react it with HBr and HBr in presence of peroxide, you have to tell what products will be formed. So solve these 5 examples or exercises based on the method of preparation of haloalkanes. So that's all in today's class. Thank you very much for joining, and we will continue the next topics in the next class.